about the kneeless stretcher. People don't understand how it works. They say it only stretches from point A to point B, or A and B, or whatever like that. I've had one for quite a few months now, probably 6 months or maybe even longer than that. I can't remember. I think I actually got it in the spring. So I've had it all summer long, and I've really been using it. I use it on every single carpet job. There's been a lot of guys in the professional industry now getting them and are curious as how to use them and such like that. I've never ever power stretched a room in with it. However, in this video, I am going to do it just to see if it does do what it's supposed to do. The manufacturer of this installs rooms all the time and has for about 20 plus years. There's another guy on the internet, I don't want to call his name, but he also power stretches all the time with this. He does all of his jobs like that with this, and there's other guys out there that also use this all the time to get their complete stretches in, and they don't use a traditional pole stretcher. They use this all the time. And as with the Triforce, people are confused on how this stretches beyond the anchor point right here. So I've tested it myself in situations where I've stretched and watched the carpet move 12 or 15 feet behind me, and yes, it does pull beyond the anchor point, but does it stretch in a room of carpet satisfactory to where you're not going to have issues out of it in the future? We're going to find out. We're going to test it right now. Like I said, I've not done that. I only use this myself in situations where I would use a knee kicker, and it definitely saves the old knee from kicking, okay? If you've been in the industry for a while, or you're a long time or something like that, you definitely know that you don't want to use that kicker no more than you absolutely have to, and you will actually start carrying your pole stretchers into closets and such like that because you don't want to kick. So when you reach that point, this right here is going to be a lifesaver. It's actually a lifesaver anyway, because if you start using this when you're at a young age and to get away from that knee kicker, this is going to add so many years to your career, because the knee kicker is the most brutal part of the flooring installation there is when it comes to carpet, especially if you don't use it properly and you try to stretch in entire rooms with a knee kicker. It's going to beat you to death, and your body is going to be so broken down after 10 or 15 years. You really, really need to break out those pole stretchers to get your stretch properly, okay? Here, we're going to test this out, see if it will do a power stretch. Now, we're going to check it by how tight we get this carpet. This is a 9 by 14 room. It's about a 13.6 or something like that. So we're going to check it out. I'm going to do it exactly like the manufacturer suggests doing, because this is not like a regular kicker. It is not like a traditional power stretcher. You do have to use it in a different method to get this to get the results that you're looking for in the stretch, is what they say, okay? Again, I've never power stretched a room in with it, but I'm going to this time just to see if we do it, okay? So far, everybody who has asked me about it, I never recommend power stretching a room in. I believe that a person should get the recommended stretch that is put out there from the CRI, which is 1%, 1 to 1.5% of your room size, okay? So in a 12-foot room, you should be getting at least an inch, if not 1.2 inches of stretch out of a piece of carpet. How in the world are you ever going to know that you got that using this or a knee kicker as far as that goes? So with that being said, the way to test and see if this is going to get tight and stuff like that, we're going to just give it the old pickup tight test, and we're going to see if the carpet does actually get tight. Everything I've used this for thus far, I've been super, super satisfied with it. I set all my walls, I do all my closets, hallways, and all that stuff with this tool right here. I even stretch sideways on my steps, because instead of using my knee kicker to get my side stretch on my steps, this fits in perfectly on most of your traditional step sizes. And because it is this length, I can push it down one time and tuck over here and tuck over here, one stretch, and both sides tuck it and get it tight. So it's super good on your steps, okay? That's the traditional side staircase. Anyway, I'm going to do this exactly like the manufacturer says to do it. So I'm going to tie off one corner, stretch over. We're just going to do it, okay? I ain't going to explain it. We're just going to do it. So this is, as a matter of fact, I'm not familiar with doing a whole room with it. So I actually just watched the maker of this stretch in a room right before, just a few minutes ago actually, so I would know exactly how to do it because I hadn't done it before. So for stretching in a room, this is what we're going to do, okay? Again, you don't use this like a traditional power stretcher, pole stretcher, knee kicker, or anything. There's different techniques to get the results you're looking for. As you'll notice here how I got it set down, it is set at an angle versus straight ahead, okay? If you do set it straight ahead, if I set it straight ahead like this right here, it definitely will only stretch from point A to point B. You're just going to pull right here. If I set it at an angle, this is setting out further over here, so my stretch is actually coming right up beside this and not this, okay? You may think, well, that's ridiculous. Carpet ain't going to move like that. Carpet absolutely moves like that, okay? It's like a fabric, okay? I can take my shirt and tie it off right here. I can tie it off right here and still stretch up beside it and pull this part, even though it's beside it anyway. That's a little ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to stretch this out just like they do. The main thing is keep this on about a 20-degree angle, okay? You never want to use it straight. So let's just do it, okay? And I have found out since I've been using this, this is definitely a compatible buddy with this right here, okay? A lot of guys will use the, shucks, I forget what it's called, the spreader. My opinion, if you are getting your tack strip close enough like you should, the spreader's not going to do a sufficient job. That's just 100% my opinion. This, you can definitely get more power on it, more push, and get it definitely down in the crevice there, in the gully where you want it, versus the spreader, okay? Because you can't roll this, so I'm just going to get it stretched up here. Okay, now I'm going to take this and let's see here. Working it. What I'm doing here, I'm working this right into the corner, okay? Now I have this whole thing. I'm not going to cut anything because I'm not going to cut anything. We'll just say that. I got this tied off. I'm going to come up here, get me just a couple stretches just to pull the slack out of it. Again, I'm going to be angled to the corner there, okay? I'm not getting crazy because this is fixing to be a little different right here. Okay, now that I got that pulled up and stretched, you can already see, look down right here. Look right here if you will, Isaac. Come around right here. I want you to look here in the crevice here where I just rolled that down. That's all nice, stuck in the strip there really good, which that lets you know you're getting a decent pull on it. See that? If it's sticking on the strip like that. If you're not getting any stick on it, watch this. If I'm just creasing it without any stretch on it, looky here. You can pull it right back up. It don't matter how much you crease it. If it has no stretch, it just comes right back up. This is stretched and stuck on the strip, okay? All right. Wall number one. Again, I'm using this at an angle, and what I'm doing, I'm actually moving my carpet this way and that way at the same time because I'm using this at an angle, okay? There are some guys in the industry that have made their own out of a little cheap Amazon stretcher. This one is a little bit pricey, but it is by all means worth the money once you get used to it. Okay, now check this out. As I'm stretching, this just now came up by itself. That's because now I'm working my carpet this way all of that stretch that I got just a while ago, when I had my stretcher this way, that tension is now off of it because the carpet is gradually moving to that corner and all the tension has came off of it because I'm running my stretcher at an angle to that corner, okay?
Where can you get one?
I will leave a link in the description for this. Kneeless Pete is the guy that makes this. He got his nickname, I'm assuming, from this. Kneelessstretcher.com, I think is the website. Again, I'll leave a link for this, okay? It is an absolutely awesome tool. Okay, so typically, I would go ahead, trim and pack all this. I'm not going to do that right now. I want to save this carpet and use it for other stuff. I don't want it cut to the exact size of the room, okay? Everything is super stuck. It's by all means not going to come off or anything like that, okay? It's there, okay? I am going to reinforce this a little bit since it did come up on that. Now, whether he did that in the video, I don't know. This is just what I feel comfortable doing. So I'm going to do it, okay? All right. Got this wall done. Now we're going to do our second wall. Again, I'm going to come up here, get me just a couple stretches. Lengthways, just like I just did. Again, on an angle. I'm going to stretch it and stick it. Now I'm going to back up, do the same thing to this wall as I did right there. Now I'm going to run up this entire wall, stretching this way and that way at an angle, okay? I want to point something out here too, real fast. Looky here already. Look right here. Because I am stretching that way and this way at the same time. Now remember, I already stretched stuff that way, okay? There's a significant wrinkle right here already, and I'm only halfway up the room, okay? So by all means, this is getting stretched long ways. At the same time, it's getting stretched crossways, okay?
Can this be used in a large room?
That's what they say, and it makes perfect sense how they do it too, because like I said, this is a 14 by 9 foot room. What they will do in a large room, they'll actually stretch here in the center, stretch crossways in the center, both directions, and treat it like two separate rooms. They'll do this half and then they'll do this half, okay? So that cuts the room in half. I see a gentleman on YouTube do it all the time, okay? So it is definitely better than using a knee kicker. So looky here, once again, this has already been pulled up just from working my carpet that direction, okay? Okay. Now that's all nice and stuck again. I'm going to go ahead, I can't remember exactly how he done that, but I'm going to jump back over here, do my third wall, and I'm going to save my length one for last. It just makes sense to me because as I'm going crossways, again, I'm going lengthways at the same time. So it makes sense to me to come back over here to my side wall and get this wall done. This wall and that wall is already done, so I think I'm doing it right by what he said anyway. Again, I'm doing this because I want to get the length of the room stretched last because all these side stretches are actually stretching lengthways as well. So this spreader is a super good tool. I mean, the Easy Tuck by Taylor Tools is just a wonderful tool. It don't matter if you use a stretcher, a kicker, this tool, a Kneeless, or whatever. This is a super good tool to get it creased and stuck down on your strip really good. Okay. Now to come back over and finish up that direction. What we're doing, we're working everything to the corners, okay? If you'll notice, every stretch that I'm doing, I'm angled to one of the corners or the other, okay? You got about 1.5 inch of stretch out of each crank that you have on this tool. You can see that from right here, from this point to this point where it stops is 1.5 inches long, okay? So you can see how much pull you're actually getting right there with each stretch, okay? And again, you're going to want to keep it as close to the tack strip as you would your power stretchers or anything like that. In my opinion, just enough room to get something in there and stick it on the strip without getting your stretcher on the strip, okay? Okay, so this room is done. And I would like to say without even breaking a sweat, but here I am wiping sweat off my face. So let's check it out, okay? Everything is definitely pushed up to the walls and everything like that. Well, it is super tight here. Sometimes people think because carpet is flat that it is stretched. That is not the case, okay? If you get a wrinkle in the carpet and you pull it flat, you're simply got your carpet flat until the carpet is wrinkled up like this, and then you pull it flat. Then when it's flat, then the carpet is able to start stretching, okay? You must get it flat before it's able to stretch. Stretch don't mean pull the slack out of it. It's like taking this piece of material, it's tight right there, and then stretch it like that, okay? That is how carpet is exactly. It has to stretch. So, me getting my industry standards when I use my pole stretcher, the carpet almost feels like it's glued down whenever I use my power stretcher, meaning I can barely pick it up off of the pad like that right there, okay? So, I can definitely do more than that after using this Kneeless, okay? Is it tight? Is it better than a knee kicker? It's absolutely better than a knee kicker. You're not going to get your room as tight with a knee kicker. You're not going to break down your body as with using a knee kicker. Is it to industry standards? It is not to industry standards. I can guarantee you that, okay? People that are using a knee kicker to stretch in rooms, you're going to be more than okay of stretching your rooms in with this. As a matter of fact, I would absolutely recommend it to that group of people that use a knee kicker instead of a pole stretcher, okay? For the simple reason, it definitely does a lot less damage to the carpet as a sudden jolt with the knee kicker. This head right here It's not much bigger than a knee kicker, but it is bigger. And this stretch is a gradual stretch, as with a pole stretcher, instead of a jerk stretch like that, as with a knee kicker, okay? So it's definitely less damage to the carpet, less stress on the carpet. And not just that, it is 100% less strenuous and damaging on your body, okay? You guys that use a knee kicker and to stretch in your rooms, definitely get you one of these. It's definitely going to save your body. You're not going to be near as wore out at the end of the day whenever you get done. I know you're probably banging out 150 yards a day or something like that using the knee kicker. Get you one of these, okay? Get used to it. It's going to save you so much effort on your body, so much. It's just a wonderful tool for that, okay? Again, those of you that are using a knee kicker to stretch in your rooms, get you one of these to stretch in your rooms, okay? You guys that use a pole stretcher for stretching in your rooms, you do not want to digress, okay? You always want to increase to progress and get better and better and better. Which the guys that are using a knee kicker, this is definitely going to get them better and better and better as well. But you guys that are already using power stretchers, do not go back. Don't go backwards in your quality set, okay? Do not go and get this and expect to stretch in complete rooms with it, okay? However, I use one, like I said, on every single carpet job for setting walls, closets, hallways, and everything. I use this anywhere I would use a knee kicker for lining up seams in my pattern match carpet, for even setting pattern carpet to walls, keeping it straight, everything. This is such a tremendous tool for, it's going to help the installer in so many ways. It don't matter if you power stretch with poles or what you do. Any carpet installer, this is going to be a huge benefit, okay? So if you're a pole stretcher guy, by all means, get you one of these anyways. You can leave your kicker on the van. You don't even have to get it out. Well, you might want to get it out just for, shifting the carpet an inch or so, getting it lined up in the room completely. To do your finesse work, setting walls, lining seams, straightening your pattern match, all of that can be done with this. You don't need a kicker, and you don't need the little mini stretcher to hook on the tack strip or anything like that. So this is going to be good for anybody out there. Pole stretchers, knee kickers, or anything, okay? Again, the pole stretcher people, don't get this and try to stretch in whole rooms. You're going to digress your quality. Knee kicker guys, by all means, get one of these and stretch your rooms in, okay? It's only going to improve your quality of your job and help your body out tremendously, okay? A lot of people say that these teeth right here might be a little too long. I want to take a look at this up close here. If you'll come over here, Isaac, let's look at it. The teeth are, honestly, I don't even know how long they are. Looks like about 1 inch to me. I can't be certain of that. Let me see if I have a tape measure and I can just check that out for you. Okay. So I got a tape measure. Let's see exactly how long these teeth are right here. They are definitely sharp. So, okay, so right here we got 3/4 of an inch. So these are 3/4 of an inch long teeth. Some people say that's too much. It digs into the pad and everything like that. I have been using this, like I said, all summer long. I've never had an issue with it digging into the pad, pushing my pad up over the tack strip at all, okay? Never, not once have I had an issue with that. Let's get another close-up look right here. Again, this thing is built like a brick house. It's all very, very hard, quality, thick metal, okay? You hear that? Even on this part right here, everything, everything is super hard, super quality. This thing is going to last you forever. The guys that have these and has been using them forever, I don't think they've ever bought another one. The one guy on the internet has had his for, goodness gracious, I don't know how long, a long time anyway. These things last tremendously. So check this out right here. Sorry, let me get another close-up right here. So everything is definitely, look how thick everything is. All these welds are nicely constructed welds. See how thick that piece right there is? Super strong. The block that it hooks to, it ain't no little flimsy piece of anything that cranks. That's a solid chunk of steel with a hole drilled in it, welded on this handle. Really good. These solid chunks of steel that these are mounted to here and here. And look at this right here. This is 3/16 or a 1/4 inch thick metal. All these little pieces like that are super thick, super strong, really well constructed piece of equipment here, okay? I highly recommend any of you carpet guys to get you one of these. These are absolutely phenomenal for, a lot of guys will say, oh, they're $500. They are $400 and something, I think. It's gonna last you a lifetime. You only need one, okay? You don't have to get one every 5 years, every 10 years, or even, as a matter of fact, every 20 years. It's like my crane power stretchers. I had them 21 years before I finally got rid of them and got me another set. This is gonna last you like that, if not even longer than that, okay? It's a simple construction made with high quality, super strong, solid parts, okay? So really there ain't a whole lot to go bad on it. I don't know what could possibly go bad on it, honestly, unless you booger up the teeth or something like that where it starts slipping on you. One downfall I see about this thing, this is how it comes, okay? It don't come with anything to protect the teeth or to protect the floors as you carry it in and set it down and you're waiting to use it. You cannot set this on any hard surface products or else you got the teeth directly on the floor. Same thing there and there. Mine came, when I ordered mine, it came with this pad right here on the front and back on the bottom, okay? That protected them a little bit, but you can only imagine how short of a time that's gonna last you. As a matter of fact, I've got mine right here, and I'll show you what it looks like after using it for a few months. It is absolutely bored out and wallered to death. So you can see it came, and then look at all these holes now, just from setting it in there. These are all wallered out real good and everything like that. So it's gonna get where it don't even stick on there or anything like that. So I would...
So a deadman would be the same thing?
A dead man? Yeah, a dead man only stretches, now a dead man does stretch from point A to point B. Okay, so no, it's not the same thing. Dead man is a board back here, you put your tailpiece against and stretch off of it. This is by no means the same thing as a dead man. In the case of a dead man, this would be your dead man, this would be the stretcher. So you're only stretching between the two. This one right here actually stretches up beside it, okay? It don't stretch from point A to point B, it stretches beside it, okay? So no, it's not like a dead man at all. It's not even the same technique as using a dead man. Anyway, so with that being said about these little foam pieces here, what I did, now I just done this on my own because I didn't have anything to protect them with. So I took a little 2x6 here. This is actually the same size. This is a 2x6. I didn't have to cut anything off of this, okay? So one is, I put some furniture slides on the bottom, little pieces of felt. That way I can set it on a solid floor, whether it's hardwood, tile, or whatever. I'm not going to hurt the floor. It's completely protected by this little piece of felt. And my strap here will strap it right onto the top. I drilled holes in it, and obviously they got to be drilled at an angle. It did take me a little bit of time to do that, to figure out that angle and stuff. But now I have, I don't know if I can stop shaking there. Let's see here, I can do it like this. Now I've got me a protector for my teeth, front and back. And it's just that simple to put them on and take them off. They're not going to come off. And again, it's completely protecting the teeth and whatever floor I put it on. They're super good like that. And also really easy. See that? You just unclip that and it comes straight off, okay? So really easy to deal with. Only thing you gotta do is just pick it up and set it right back on there and clamp it on. I don't have to worry about where I set it on my van or anything like that, so I would suggest to the manufacturer to come up with something like this. To do this, there's already been, like I said, a mess of guys on the internet that have gotten that I'm affiliated with on Facebook and stuff. They like this little setup here. I am going to make a handful of these myself and sell them on my website. For those of you that do want some, you can check on my website here shortly. I won't be too long about it because I've already told people that they're coming, so I'm going to get them done really soon. But I'm going to make some of these right here specifically for these kneeless kickers, kneeless stretchers or whatever, and yeah, they're just really nice to have. But anyway, does it work? I think that's the title of the video, the kneeless stretcher. Does it work? It absolutely works. It only depends on what you're expecting to get out of it. Again, if you are a knee kicker guy, yes, it's going to be by far superior to the knee kicker. Power stretchers guy, it's not going to be comparable to your pole stretcher, okay? However, it's going to be good for any carpet guy out there. Definitely get you one, okay? I'm going to leave a link in the description for this, and I'll leave a link to my store so that you guys can get these as soon as I get them ready, okay? I don't know what else to do about it. This room is securely stretched. I wouldn't recommend it myself because I try to do everything to the best. I'm a pole stretcher guy, so I'm not going to stretch in a room with this. I'm always going to use my pole stretcher, but I'll never be without this. Again, I can tell you that as long as I'm doing carpet, I'll never be without this. So I don't know anything else to say about it. It works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Any questions or anything like that before I get off of here? Everything's all good? Alrighty. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, FBSB's out.